Really, guys, did you really have to make me do this again? Last year I reviewed Sharknado 5, Global Swarming, and you could say I didn't like it. That's so funny! At the end of that video, I said I hope SYFY stops making these. And SYFY didn't listen, and we got the last Sharknado, It's About Time. And in an attempt to save my mental health, I decided to leave it up to you, our loyal viewers, to decide if I would watch this piece of garbage. And well, you guys decided. I don't know what I was expecting with this. So yeah, I watched it.
Welcome to prehistoric times.
Finn! I know this is extremely confusing, but we're all very much alive.
Look out!
Where are we?
Welcome to Merlin's castle.
There's a Sharknado coming.
You know, what's there to even say about these anymore? I've only seen the second Sharknado, the fifth Sharknado, and now this, the sixth Sharknado, and my comments have been the same every single time. It's an insult to filmmaking and an insult to the intelligence of the viewers who watch it. The plot, as best I can describe, is, first of all, they decided to use my least favorite writing crutch in science fiction is time travel. I don't know why, but stories that don't originally have time travel, that put time travel in, I find are some of the most lazy, insulting, stupid things, because none of it makes any goddamn sense. You write in time travel and you can write away rules. You can write away any sense of logic. Besides the Sharknado films, the Kingdom Keepers book series, which no one has ever heard of, I assure you, tried to write in time travel and it didn't work. And I really didn't like time travel in Infinity War. And so just to piss me off a little bit more, the writers of Sharknado did time travel. So the plot, if you will, is that Finn is brought back in time at the end of the fifth Sharknado movie by his son and told he has to destroy the first Sharknado, and after he does that, there'll be no more Sharknados in the world. And he's brought back in time, and Nova, who died in the fifth movie, is now alive. April, his dead wife, not the robot wife, the actual April, is also back in time. The guy, I think his name is Judah Friedlander. He's the guy from 30 Rock who I think was in the second one, who died, is alive. All these, a major character from each of the films that died in the previous ones is just alive. And don't ask me why, because it's stupid. And they're in prehistoric times with the most disgustingly ugly looking CGI dinosaurs you've ever seen. They destroy the first Sharknado, but it doesn't work. All the Sharknados don't stop. They have to go through time, stopping at major points in history, and destroy a bunch of Sharknados. And good Lord, did these segments hurt. They first show up in medieval times, and the first of the painful celebrity cameos is, folks, Neil deGrasse Tyson plays Merlin. He cameos, and he's in the medieval segment as Merlin. I've lost all respect for Neil deGrasse Tyson. You are smarter than these films, sir. Why are you here? Don't encourage this, because it kills brain cells. You should know this, sir. Why? And some drag queen from, I'm assuming, RuPaul's Drag Race plays a witch of some sort. And guess what? Our favorite joke is back of the witch is super annoying. And from the first minute in the segment, I'm like, I know what the joke's gonna be. A shark's gonna eat her. And guess what happens? That. It's so funny! But it's not. I said this last year. But sweet Jesus, is it not funny? So they go out of medieval times, where at one point they make fire-breathing shark dragons. That's a real thing that happened. And they go into my favorite time period in history, the American Revolution, where the rage really started to set in while watching this. Because they run into three founding fathers: Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, and Alexander Hamilton. Yes, they make jokes about Hamilton because Hamilton memes. I don't know the actor's name who played Ben Franklin, but he was whiny, irritating, and like portrayed as a baby. Also, they implied that Finn's wife, April, helped him discover electricity. And I'm just like, go F yourself. Making Tara Reid the discoverer of electricity and not Ben Franklin. Like, that is just disgusting and disrespectful. Daryl Hammond, the guy who before Alec Baldwin played Donald Trump on Saturday Night Live, plays George Washington, and just no. We know that he played Donald Trump. Do not also have him play the founder of our country. That he's not played to be as insulting as, say, Ben Franklin was. But I'm like, not a good idea, folks. And Alexander Hamilton is that Jewish actor who I believe his name is Ben Stein, who's always in a bunch of things. For some reason, he plays Hamilton, and they make painful jokes about Alexander Hamilton because, you know, the musical. And they continue going through time. I think they stop in the Wild West and meet Billy the Kid. Sure. And then they go into the 60s, and Gilbert Gottfried is there. It was just, the plot itself was, the only thing that I thought was kind of funny, maybe, was that Finn is brought into the distant future where the robot Tara Reid has taken over the world. And the closest thing to something that was objectively funny was there's a robot shark flying around, and there's an honest-to-God line where Finn says to, I believe it's April, I don't remember, or maybe it was Nova, he just goes, well, I guess sharks must have evolved to robot sharks. And I admit that I was laughing at that because that is just so beyond stupid. Yeah. The plot was atrocious and insulting, and I hate time travels, and I hated it here. And it just was a visually ugly looking movie. I talked about the CGI, and there was an over-reliance of CGI. Now, I understand that that's part of the so bad it's good argument, is that it's fascinating to watch them be, it looks so ugly. But in the medieval times segment, there's the sword and the stone, and they have the prop of the sword stuck in the stone. But instead of making some kind of simple practical effect of just a way that Finn can pull the sword out of the stone, what they do is they smash cut using CG somehow. They have him pulling the sword from the stone, but instead of just like practical, maybe just a little bit of rock breaking effects. They CG everything. And I was like, why? Why did you CG that? You can build one practical thing. I realize that these films have no budget, and that's how they make the profit that they do. Maybe. I don't understand how made-for-TV movies works. But can you be practical just this once, Sharknado? Please. Oh, and Amanda, come over here.
What's up?
You know what really drives me nuts about these movies? They do this shot where, like, they have a group of actors, and one of the actors will be facing away from the camera, so you can only see the back of their heads. And for some reason, when that actor has to speak, instead of just having the actor speak into a microphone, they record voiceover in, like, post-production and just edit it in to the speech. And that just, it drives me really crazy.
Yeah, that seems annoying and overly fake.
The hell was that? Maybe that's how sharks evolved over the last 20,000 years.
I'm done, guys. If they make another Sharknado movie, I'm not watching it. I'm not reviewing it. I'm done with these stupid films. A 0 out of 5.